everybody. I'm going to record this class for you. We're going to start in grammar on page 67. So turn to that page 67. All right, and we're going to talk about homophones today. And you've heard of those before. We've talked about them before, but these are words that sound the same. So remember that word homophone. The prefix homo means same, and then phone means sound. So these words sound exactly the same, but they're spelled differently. And today we're going to focus on these two words right here, your and your. One has an apostrophe and one does not. Y-O-U-R is a possessive pronoun, your tail, meaning the tail belongs to you. And then the possessive pronoun your tells whose and functions as an adjective. So it's going to come right before a noun for that reason. So Y-O-U-R, even though it is a pronoun, it's going to function as an adjective. And then Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is a contraction. That's you are. So you're early, meaning you are early. So those are the two words that sound exactly the same, but spelled a little differently. So in this book, they're going to write the wrong word on purpose for you, so you get to see how to fix it. Right here it says place a line through the incorrect homophone and then write the correct word above it. That's all you're going to do in this book for this. If the correct homophone is your, write ADJ above YOUR. If the correct homophone is your with an apostrophe RE, you're going to write PR, which is pronoun, and S for subject above you, that part of the word. And then write V above the apostrophe RE because that represents R, A-R-E, and that is the verb in the sentence. So here's your sample sentence. You're not sleeping in your bed. So they did it wrong on purpose. You would draw a line through the incorrect one, write it correctly above here. This one should be your with apostrophe RE. PR over the U, S over that because it's also the subject of the sentence. And then over the RE for R, A-R-E, you write V for verb. Over here, your bed, it's whose bed is it? It's your bed. So that becomes an adjective. So correct the spelling first and then put ADJ on top of that. We're also talking about imposter ly adverbs. So you know about ly adverbs. You've been working on those in your writing for a while. Ly is at the end of other words too, not just adverbs. And so sometimes those can be imposter adverbs, meaning they look like an adverb, but they're really an adjective. So watch out for those, okay? They have ly, but they're not modifying a verb, which is what adverbs do. They actually modify a noun or add to the noun, right? So an imposter ly adverb is a word that looks like an ly adverb because it ends in ly, but it's actually an adjective. If the ly word modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb, it will tell when, where, why, how, and to what extent. That is an ly adverb. If the ly word describes a noun or a pronoun, it will tell us which one or what kind it is an adjective. So you're still going to mark your ly adverbs with ly, but then if you see an ly adjective, don't put ly on top of that. You're going to mark it adj for adjective. Right here is your example. The ugly cat boldly stalked the mice. So that word boldly is an adverb because it's telling how he stalked the mice, right? That's telling how he did that. And that's modifying the verb stalked. But this one here, the ugly cat, is telling about the cat. It's describing the cat. So that means it's an adjective. So watch out for those ly words. Sometimes they're adverbs and sometimes they're adjectives. You just have to see where it is in the sentence and what it's modifying. That's what you're looking out for. Here is a list at the bottom of this page 67. These are all common imposters. So notice they all have ly at the end and they look like adverbs, but they're actually adjectives. So I'm going to read this list and you read along with me on this recording. Chilly, friendly, ghastly, ghostly, holy, kingly, knightly, lonely, lovely, lowly, orderly, prickly, queenly, ugly, worldly, wrinkly. These are all describing a noun. So don't be fooled by that ly at the end, because sometimes they're not adverbs. Okay, let's turn the page. There's a little more on the back of that. This is page 68. On this page 68, we're going to talk about the noun of direct address. Okay, NDA, noun of direct address. It's a noun used to refer to someone directly. It names the person spoken to. So anytime you see a noun of direct address, it's going to be in a quote. It's going to be something someone says in a quote. And it can appear at any natural pause in a quoted sentence. Here's 3 places the noun of direct address can be in a sentence. The first one says, Timmy, after dinner, we can read books, Johnny said. So the quote is, Timmy, after dinner, we can read books. Johnny is addressing Timmy. This is called noun of direct address. So he's directly addressing Timmy. He's talking to Timmy. And here it is again with Timmy in the middle. After dinner, Timmy, we can read books, Johnny said. So it doesn't matter if it's at the beginning or the middle, and then this one's at the end. After dinner, we can read books, Timmy, Johnny said. So I want you to also notice the commas. They talk about this a little bit more down here, but you can see Timmy, comma, and then the quote, the rest of the quote. Here it is in the middle with commas around Timmy, and at the end with a comma right before Timmy. So that's the rule with noun of direct address. When a character in a story is speaking directly to someone and they're calling them out by their name, it is called a noun of direct address. Okay. Because a noun can perform only one function in a sentence, this is important for you to understand. A noun of direct address is never the subject of the sentence. I know that sounds weird, but that's true. In these sentences, the noun of direct address is Timmy. That's obvious because that is the noun used to directly address the mouse. The subject is the pronoun we. So remember, when we look for subjects, we're looking for the verb first, and then we ask who. So let's look at this example up here. Timmy, after dinner, we can read books. The verb is can read. That's a helping verb. The action verb is read. Can is the helping. So we know those are the verbs, right? Can read. And if we ask who can read, we can read. We is the subject, not Timmy. That's just the noun of direct address. That is not the subject. And the same is true for the next 2 examples. The subject is we in all of them. Okay, so just remember that. Comma rule, I just talked about that, goes around that noun of direct address. Down here, this is how you're going to fix it in this book. Add commas to separate the noun of direct address from the sentence. So you're just going to add them in this book for your homework. Johnny, comma, where are you going? The little mouse asked. So if Johnny's in the middle of this sentence that's being spoken, put commas around before and after Johnny. And then if Johnny's at the end of the spoken sentence, then the comma goes right before. So just remember commas all around the noun of direct address. All right, let's go to the practice page. It says, Timmy politely answered, Johnny, I am too nervous to eat your food. The vocabulary word today is nervous, and it just means to be kind of excitable or worried. It kind of goes with both feelings, like being excited or worried. Nervous is that little feeling where maybe your heart beats a little faster and maybe your stomach turns a little bit, maybe you get a little sweaty. Just, you guys know what nervous means. So go ahead and put a check by vocabulary. There's 3 nouns here. We've got Johnny, And we've got, oh, I forgot Timmy. Got Timmy, Johnny, and food. Those are the three nouns. Pronoun. This one was a little tricky for some students, but in this sentence, the pronoun is actually I, right here. It's taking the place of who's speaking, right? So it's Timmy's answering Johnny, and that's the noun of direct address. We'll talk about that in a second. But he's saying I, and I is taking the place of Timmy because he's the one speaking here. See the quotes. All right, so there's two adjectives. Some students get stuck on these. The best way to do it is look for the noun first, and then look for a word that would describe the noun. So we've got food, right? By the way, it's bugging me. We need to fix this your. It's wrong. It's not you are food. That doesn't make sense. It should be your food. The food belongs to you, right? So if it's your food, then whose food is it? Yours. So you're going to put ADJ as an adjective on top of your for that. And then there's another word in here that's describing I, which is actually Timmy. I am too nervous. That word nervous is describing Timmy, so that also is an adjective. The next one is an ly adverb. That's pretty easy. It has an ly, and it's talking about how he answered. So I know that that's going to be not an imposter, but actually an ly adverb. And the subject-verb pairs. Well, I know answered is a verb. And I know am is a linking verb. So those are the two verbs in this sentence. So am is linking the pronoun to the adjective. So it's describing that pronoun I. That's what the adjective is doing. So we need a word in between to link those two together. I am too nervous, okay? And then our subject for this is actually two parts because we have Timmy here. Timmy politely answered. That's the subject. Timmy answered. And then in the quote, Johnny, I am too nervous. So I is the subject here. Remember, not the noun of direct address because that's who he's talking to. All right, I want to jump over here to this noun of direct address. Remember the rule about the commas. So we need to put in a comma after Johnny because that's who Timmy is speaking to directly to. So that is the noun of direct address. I'm going to put a check by comma. And then your capitals, Timmy, Johnny, and then the pronoun I by itself always needs to be capitalized. So we need to capitalize that one. End mark is a period, as usual. And the homophone we actually already fixed because it was the wrong your in that sentence. So there you go. That's the answers for this page 69. And your homework for this week will be pages 70, 71, and 72. Just a quick reminder that we do not have class next week because it's Thanksgiving break next week. But this homework is for this week. So you need to complete this homework by next Wednesday. But I recommend you finishing it by the weekend so you can actually have the whole week off and not have to do any homework for my class. And there's no class next week, so this is it. So go ahead and do those pages 70 to 72. And then you can get out your binders. I'm going to explain a little bit about your writing assignment this week. I know last week you guys worked on the pictures. Let me see what you guys worked on last week. I got to remember too. You guys did. Hold on. Forget which one you guys worked on. Oh, dining. Yeah. You guys wrote the story about dining. And you came up with your character names. You came up with the situation. By the way, I read yours. I read a lot of them. I don't know if I read all of them yet, but you guys were pretty creative on how you came up with why they were surprised and what was happening and what was under the lid of the platter. and who they were, all that stuff. So that was really fun to read your stories. And when we get back after Thanksgiving break, I'm going to have you guys read your stories to me or to the class so everybody can hear it. This week, you're going to do another one of those. So if you're done with the dining story, the first page you want to put away is that yellow page. And that goes behind model charts and outlines. So this one right here, let me share my screen so you can see which one I'm talking about. This page here, the yellow page 89, goes behind the tab that says model charts and outlines. So go ahead and put that one away behind, or yeah, behind all the other yellow pages in there at the back of that. Model charts and outlines. And then the rest of week 10, you can put away in your finished composition folder or binder or whatever you're using for that. And then go ahead and go to the front of your binder. Once you put that away, close the rings and go to the front of your binder for source text tab. And you're going to get out the next lesson, which is week 11. And it looks like this, week 11. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages you're going to get out for week 11 is called Ice Cream Truck or Food Fight. I think you guys are going to like this one too. So I'm just going to do a quick lesson for this because it's pretty easy. This lesson is a lot like the dining one. So you don't need a lined paper or anything, but I do want to talk to you about, well, let's just go into the first series of pictures here. This one's called Ice Cream Truck. And just like before for the dining story, those pictures, you don't have to do the keyword outline, but you can, if it helps you, use it. If you don't need it, you don't have to. It's only for these lessons with the pictures. I'm making it optional. But looking at these pictures, you can see that I'm looking at the first one. It looks like this is a thermometer and it looks like it's over 100 degrees. It's hot. And there's a girl standing here and she's sweating. If you look closely, you can see like little sweat drops coming off of her. And then there's an ice cream truck here. And so that's just what's happening in the first scene and then, or the first picture. And then the second picture, it looks like she goes up to the truck and she's got money in her hand and she's pointing to something that she wants inside the truck or something. She's telling the guy what she wants to order. The third picture actually shows the ice cream on top of the truck beginning to melt. And she's a little worried and shocked, and so is he. So here's where you get to get creative on this. You can give them names. I always pick Bob, you know me, so Bob the ice cream guy. And then whatever girl name you want to use for her. And then whatever situation it is. Okay, obviously it's hot. Is this melting because it's plastic? Or is it melting because it suddenly turned into a real ice cream cone, like a giant real ice cream cone on top? That could be. Anyway, you look at these pictures now. Each one of these represents a paragraph. Remember that. If I cover this, your first paragraph is going to be all about just this picture. Okay, so don't peek ahead, don't write ahead on the other pictures yet. For the first paragraph, you're only looking at this picture. So you're going to talk about things like it's summertime, and maybe she's walking home from school and she sees the ice cream truck and it's over 100 degrees outside and she's just so hot and she has nothing to eat or something, you know. You can make it more like out, you know, thinking about other details, like maybe she's dreaming and maybe this is all a dream. Anyway, but your first paragraph is going to be all about this only. Your second paragraph is going to be about this picture only. So she's buying the ice cream, she's wanting to pay for it, she's telling him what she wants. You can make it up, like she wants that funky monkey milkshake. Have you ever heard of the funky monkey one? It's got like chocolate and nuts and I don't know. I think it has banana in it. That would make sense for the monkey part. But anyway, she's ordering her ice cream and you can give it a price, and all that stuff. And then at the end, this part where the ice cream's melting, this third paragraph is only about this picture right here. So as you're looking at those pictures, brainstorm ideas. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to help you come up with some ideas. And I want you to write this at the top of your page here. You're going to write the question words on the actual paper itself. So who, what, when, where, why, how. And then we had those extra questions before, after, outside. Remember, outside of the frame of the picture. And then I'm going to add invisible. Is there anything invisible happening? So those question words, I want you to write at the top of your page. This will help you come up with a plot. Who are they? What are they doing? When is it? Where are they? Why are they out there? Why is this happening? How? Before and after the pictures. Outside the picture, and invisible, what's happening that we don't see in the picture. So write down those words at the top of your page there, and that will help you when you go to sit down to do your homework, go through those questions and just come up with a plot. And remember, each picture is a separate paragraph. All right, now let's look at the next set of pictures, and you get to choose which one you want to write about. It's your choice, okay? This one is called Food Fight. So same rules apply, the same questions. In fact, I have them on my little plastic cover here, so I'm just going to stick them right back up here. If you choose this one, write these questions down at the top of this page, just to help you remember how to come up with a plot. So looking at just the first picture, because this is the first paragraph, you can see these students. It looks like they're students at school. He's got his backpack. Somebody dropped their backpack. And it looks like he's tripping over it. Uh-oh. And it looks like he spilled his food, and it's probably going to get on the back of that kid in front of him. She doesn't know what's going on, but I think he's about to figure it out. So he spills it. Something you can give these names. Remember, answer these questions as you think of a plot for each paragraph. So who, what, when, where, what are they doing? Where are they? They could be on a field trip. They could be at a camp, if you've ever been to a camp before. And then this picture, they're on a full food fight there in that middle picture. You can see food flying. And this guy, it looks like he's either hanging from the ceiling or he's actually squirting mustard or something as he's flying through the air. Maybe he's holding 2 mustard bottles and he's like, squeezing it as he's flying through the air. What a mess. Everything's happening at the same time. And it looks like they're having fun, but maybe they're mad. I don't know why they're doing this, but maybe the principal is gone. Maybe the principal left for the day and all the teachers quit or something. That would be funny. Everybody left and it was just all the kids and they just got into this big old food fight. I don't know. You make it up. Okay. And then that picture is your second paragraph. And then the third picture is your third paragraph. Obviously, a giant mess. Everybody's gone. Did they disappear? Did a big bus come by and they loaded up on the bus and they went to Disneyland? I don't know. I'm making it up. Who's going to clean up the mess? So remember asking these questions as you go through these pictures. This will be your third paragraph here. So you get to pick. You can either write about the ice cream truck or the food fight. You one or the other. Now, I had a student in another class who wanted to combine the two. Like they're having they're having a food fight inside the cafeteria, but outside the cafeteria, there was a girl trying to get ice cream. So if you want to combine the two stories, I'm okay with that. Just try to keep the pictures separate so that they represent each paragraph. And let's look at the checklist really quick. Here's the checklist. Just a quick reminder that This is how I grade your work. Your homework is always worth 10 points. It's kind of like a game. The goal is to get 10 points, right? And you can do it if you follow all these steps on your checklist. But if you forget something or you accidentally use a banned word, then I will take off points for that. So instead of getting 10, you might get 9.5 or 9 or 8, something like that. So make sure when you sit down to write this story, have this with you and make sure you go through each item on the checklist. The title is here, and you will pick a title when you're all done with your story using the last sentence. And then the clincher sentence. So you have your topic clincher rule right here too. So you must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. That's what you're doing in your topic clinchers, and they need to either be highlighted or bolded. Either way. And then, of course, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 dress ups now. You have a new one, Y2LA Class. I don't think that was on the last one that you guys did. Let me check. I think it's a new one. Let me just double check really quick. Yeah, it's a new one. Okay, so let's write down what that is. I think most of you remember what www.asia stands for. Notice it does not have a .b. That's because you already have a because clause here. So we're not going to use the .b part for the Asia word. So at the bottom, I'm going to have you put www.asia. That's from here. You can draw a little arrow down to that. And the www is, oops, let me move this over a little. When, while, where, as, since, if, although. So basically, you need to use one of these words in a sentence somewhere in your paragraph, and you need to have one in each paragraph. Does not have to be the first word, anywhere in the sentence, okay? But you need to make sure to include one of these words in a sentence, and then you underline it, just like you do your ly adverb, your who, which clause, your strong verb, your because clause, and quality adjective, and there it is, the www.asia. These are the words. So it has to have one of these words in each paragraph and then underline it. The other note I want you to put on your checklist is right here next to the because clause. I want you to put not because of. Do not use of next to because. When you do that, it becomes a prepositional phrase. Because of is a prepositional phrase. So don't use that as a because clause. A because clause is telling why something is the way it is. Like, let's see. The students all got in trouble because the principal walked in. That's a because clause because the principal walked in. I have the verb that's walked, and that is a because clause. But what if I said the students all got in trouble because of the principal? I can say because of the principal, but because of the principal is a prepositional phrase. So you can't underline that as a clause if you have the word of next to it. Because notice if I say because of the principal, there's no verb in there. That's a phrase. So it has to be a clause. It has to have a verb with it. So because the principal walked in, or I can't go outside and play because it's raining. Raining is the verb there. If I say because of the rain, it's not a clause anymore. That's a phrase, because of the rain, and rain will be a noun in that part of the sentence. So don't use because of. I want to make sure to point that out to you. All right, so your homework is grammar, page 70, 71, and 72. And then you're going to pick either the ice cream truck or the food fight or some combination of the both. Use your checklist and you're going to write 3 paragraphs. Okay. Use the pictures. Each picture is a separate paragraph. And that is it for this lesson. So have fun with it. Come up with some funny ideas. I can't wait to read your stories. And next week is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to you. And no class during Thanksgiving week. And then I'll see you after that. It'll already be December by then. So it's crazy. I'll see you in December. Okay, bye.